Yo, what is up guys? It is Royal Stoners here, and in today's video I am going to be talking about this party me and my friends had. Daniel threw it. It was an experience, let's just say that. It was kind of fun and bad at the same time. We had a bunch of friends come over to it, and a lot of us did acid. Before we get into this video though, how are you guys doing today? Let me know down in the comments below. I always try to respond to y'all. Thank y'all for the feedback recently, guys. I appreciate the support. We also reached 63 subscribers, which is pretty fucking sick. Now, I'm gonna hope to get to at least 100 by the end of this year. That would be fucking awesome. But yeah, this story time is probably gonna be a long one because a lot of shit happened in this story. But it will be worth it, trust me, because it's a banger. Now, anyways, the day began. I woke up. I knew I was going to the party because we had planned this party like a week in advance. Me and my friends Daniel, Johnson, CJ, and like a couple other people. Now, anyways, the day began. I woke up. I knew I was going to a party. Cody and Nathan had to come over first though because they were coming to the party too. I'm just gonna list out right now who all was going to the party so you all know. Daniel, Johnson, CJ, Cody, and Nathan, obviously, because I just said that. Kim, and let's call this other guy Peter. Two guys we'll call Joshua and Braxton. I actually got in a fight with Joshua, but we became cool after that because we like settled our beef. I got my licks in, he got his lick. We were beefing over bitches, which is pretty fucking lame. But I punched him like 3 times in the face, so it's whatever. But I remember about like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Cody and Nathan had came over. And now we just had to wait for my grandma to get home so that she could take us to the party. We were chilling in my room talking about the party, snorting fucking heroin and shooting up crack. And we were talking about drama that was going on between everyone there and people that were going. We were thinking that a fight was gonna go down, which it did, but we'll get into that later. Like 2 fights happened, but the first one wasn't really a fight. Well, we were chilling in my room waiting for my grandma to get back, and Daniel texted me saying that we're gonna get 8 tabs of acid for the party. Now, we were each gonna get one and trip fucking balls because these tabs we get from our dude are usually fucking amazing. The visuals are always just fucking on point. They're beautiful as shit and the feeling is amazing. Now, I told Daniel, hell fucking yes, that's badass. Thank you for buying me a tab, bro. Like, I really appreciate this. I really wanted to trip at this party with everyone. Because at first I wasn't gonna get one because we didn't have enough, but he ended up getting enough money to get everybody one. But now, he goes, no problem, man. We're gonna have a fucking awesome time at this party. And I go, yeah, bro, for sure. And then after that, we stopped texting. Well, it gets about like 5:12, and my grandma finally gets home. And I walk out my room, walk down the hallway into my living room, and I ask if she was still gonna take us. And she said, yeah, give me a minute, like 15 minutes, and we'll go. I go, okay, fuck, fine, okay. So, in those 15 minutes, me, Cody, and Nathan all start packing our shit and getting ready. Cody brought his skateboard. I brought an extra pair of clothes because we were gonna go swimming. Packed my kratom, a spoon, a GB, my GB cap. I brought my tray, and I put it all in my book bag. And I brought my shoes. But yeah, after that, I put on my shoes, and my grandma was ready to take us. We walked out the house excited as fuck. We all got in the car. I got up front, and my homies got in the back. I told Cody to text Nathan saying we were on the way, and he did. I was like, okay, bet. And it took us about like 26 minutes to get there. We were just talking in the car. Talking to my grandma about the party and shit, what's gonna happen. We didn't tell her like anything of near the truth, but we finally got there to Daniel's house. It took a little longer because my grandma had to stop and give me $20 for food. You know what I was really gonna buy with that? Fucking acid or weed. I bought a tab with that and some weed. But now, when we got there, everybody came up to the car, greeted us. The only people who were there first were Daniel, Kim, Peter, and Johnson. We got out my grandma's car, me, Cody, and Nathan, said hey to everybody, dabbed them up. We started making jokes, having a good time, making everybody laugh, just talking. And Kim let me hit her box mod, and we were chilling, having a good time so far. At this point, maybe like 15 minutes had gone by. I was sitting on Daniel's front porch talking to Kim, Nathan, and Cody. And Daniel comes up to me and says, let's go get the acid now, bro. And I go, alright, bet. Did you hit him up? And he was like, yeah, bro, I hit him up already. And he said he was on the way to the skate park. So I was like, okay, cool. I get up out the chair, and we head to Daniel's grandma's truck. Now, we had to use his grandma's truck because his car is kind of fucking destroyed at the moment. It got hit by a meteor and shat on by King Kong. But anyways, we get in the truck and Cody and Nathan get into. But Cody had to ask his mom if he could go because like we had to go to the skate park and he's on Life 360 and we didn't know if he could because we had to meet the plug at the skate park because that's where he'd be chilling at. And Cody's mom said no for some fucking reason, so him and Nathan had to stay back, which was pretty fucking sad. We really wanted them to come along on this journey to get the fucking magical LSD, but this plug was pretty cool. We're gonna call this man Josh. Josh is a pretty rad dude. He's fucking good at skating. He could do like anything on a skateboard, bro. And Daniel texted him telling him we're on the way, and he had already told Josh earlier that we were getting 8 tabs of acid. So Josh goes, okay, bet, I'm on the way there too. And now we start heading to the skate park, and Daniel starts playing this song called This Is Why I'm Hot by DLU Kemp. And we start vibing, man. I can't remember what we listened to after that, but we was jamming in the truck, dog. I was jumping up and down, dancing. It was lit, bro. We was having a really good day so far. I was a little nervous, though, because I was fixing to trip on fucking acid around some people I barely knew. Never do that, by the way, guys. It usually always ends up terrible, but it doesn't like have to end up terrible. Always trip around people you're completely comfortable with. I was comfortable with CJ, Daniel, Johnson, Cody, and Nathan, but like I barely even knew fucking Kim and Peter and Joshua and Braxton, so like it was a little weird. But me and Daniel got to the skate park about like 30 minutes later, and Daniel texts Josh, and Josh goes, alright bro, I'm here, let me cut it up real quick. So we go, alright, and we just kick it waiting in the truck for him to text us back. And it took him a fucking eternity to cut that shit. It wasn't really that long, it was like fucking 6 minutes, but he finally did it and told us to drive over to him. So we did that, and he ran up to our truck and handed us the acid. We handed him the $80, and we also really needed weed too. So I asked him if he had any right now, like that he could sell to me, like a gram or a 1.5, and he goes, I don't really sell weed, bro. And I'm like, oh man, it's alright. And he says, wait, actually, I got some on me right now I can sell you. It's my personal. I go, dude, bet. Dude, you're a lifesaver. That's awesome. That's amazing. You just fucking made the whole day better. And I hand him the $15 and ask if I can get a 1.5. He says, I'm going to try and eyeball it because I don't got a scale. I go, okay, that's cool. And he goes back up to the skate park to where his bag is at, and he gets it. And he brings it back to me and gives me what looks to be maybe a gram. I didn't really care though, cause like I was fiending for weed, bro. But we got all our shit we needed, and we were excited as fuck. And now we had to go pick up CJ, cause he doesn't have a ride. We had to drive like maybe 30 more minutes all the way to CJ's neighborhood, and we had to park and wait for his parents to say he could come. We parked at this little lake near his house, and we just walked around it waiting. Me and Daniel were talking, like making jokes. I kicked a piece of bread into the lake, and a bunch of fish came up and ate it. It was fucking cool as shit. But me and Daniel were fucking bored as hell. We had to wait like 2 hours for CJ, man. It was awful. But it's not CJ's fault though. I don't blame him one bit. I love my boy CJ. We ended up getting back into the truck at about like 6:21, and he calls us telling us it's a yes. And we immediately start driving to his house. It was only like 1 minute away, so we get there like in fucking 1 minute. And we get there, he comes out, and we go, hey, CJ, my boy. We dab him up. He dabs up Daniel. We hadn't hung out with CJ for like 3 or 4 weeks at this point, because he had just got back to where we live. He was in New York with his family. That's like, you know, it was sad without CJ. But anyways, he gets in the car, I get in the back, he gets up front. We talk for the whole ride back to Daniel's house, and we had to go back because there was like 5 people there by themselves, and we had to speed there because like we didn't know what they were doing. But we get back to Daniel's, and we all start taking the acid out and taking our tabs. Everyone takes one, we all get our swim shit on and go swimming. Cody and Nathan didn't go swimming, they sat out. But if you guys didn't know, swimming on acid is really fucking fun. But when you're around your ex and her ex and a guy she likes just after y'all broke up, that's just asking for a fucking bad trip. Before we get in the pool, I filled up my GB with fucking pool water, and I start pulling GBs of this weed that we got from the acid dude. And this weed was fucking gas, bro. Let me tell you, that shit tasted good. It smoked good. It got as high as fuck. It got me high as hell off of 1 GB, bro. I was stoned waiting for this acid to kick in. Well, we all smoked some weed. We get in the pool at about like 30 minutes later. Cody and Nathan are sitting out. And the acid is kind of creeping up on me already. I feel like the weed made it come out faster, but I started to see everything get a little brighter. Like, my vision got better, and like everything started to have outlines around it that were moving, and everything kind of started to slightly breathe. Like the trees, the water, the fucking grass, and the clouds were twisting and turning very slightly in like a river pattern. It was fucking wild. And we were all swimming for a really long time. We fucking swam during our peak, man. About like an hour in, I was tripping fucking balls in this pool. I was laying down, going underwater. I'm pretty sure I breathed some water that night, I mean. I'm almost certain I did. But everything was breathing and outlined in rainbow and purple colors. The trees were alive and had faces in them. They were like animals in the trees too. The clouds had numbers and letters and fucking the devil. I saw the devil in the clouds, bro. It was like the Baphomet thing with the horns. It was fucking weird. But I remember getting scared of that, and it kind of just threw me into a bad like thought process. Like, I wasn't thinking good then, because I was like, damn, I'm sad now. Like, I'm gonna die one day. And I was sitting in the pool. I was like a little sad, but we were all chilling. And this kind of made me happier. It was funny as shit. But Daniel gets out the pool with the pool cleaning stick and stands on the side of the pool and starts stirring the fucking pool like we're all a giant stew in his pool, and says, "Oh yes, I have a giant stew." And it was fucking crazy. It like broke the fourth wall. I was like, holy fucking shit, we're all a stew. Like, this is all life is. We're all a fucking stew. And we all just started fucking dying laughing. It was funny as shit. Like, dude, I don't want to talk about what all happened in the pool, though, because it involved my ex and someone else, which pissed me off extremely bad. But, like, 10 at night, let's just say, we were walking around Daniel's house planning to beat either Peter or CJ's ass. Now, I love CJ, my boy. That's my boy. But I was in a paranoid, delusional state where I thought they were out to get me and hated me. But Peter actually did hate me, and CJ didn't. But Kim and Peter dated, by the way, and Kim is my ex. Well, we walked out of Daniel's house and we're all outside. We were trying to separate CJ and Kim, but they wouldn't get away from each other. Now, Johnson was watching them in the street and goes, "Get away from Kim." He said that for some reason, like, but CJ wasn't really doing anything. And Peter runs up to CJ and punches him in the fucking face. And CJ and everyone goes, "Well, what the fuck, bro?" And we start yelling at him. And he used the excuse that he's fucking tripping. And we're like, dude, there's no excuse to punch CJ in the fucking face. And Johnson goes, "Bro, you just punched CJ in the fucking face. That's not right." And CJ runs inside, and Daniel comes out and says, "Dude, why did you fucking hit CJ?" And Daniel and Peter are cousins, by the way. But he said, "I thought he hurt Kim." And we were all mad at Peter at this point, like, because he just punched a really good friend of ours. And I forgot to mention, though, while we were walking in Daniel's house, Joshua and Braxton knocked on the door. And at first, Joshua was like, "Oh shit, you're not gonna beat my ass, are you, bro? Are we okay? Are we okay?" And like, "No funny shit right now, I don't want to fight you." And I said, "Nah, bro, we're cool." "No, I thought you was gonna fight me. I thought that's why you came." And he goes, "Nah, dude, we're cool now. We just came for the party." And we shake hands, and he comes in. He shakes hands with Nathan, too. And we start chilling with him for a little bit. Well, back to what happened, the fight. Peter punched CJ in the face. We were all mad at Peter. And me, Johnson, Joshua, and Cody all were planning that we were going to get Peter to go walking with us to this park, right? And we were just going to beat his ass at the park and, like, just leave him there. Now, we start walking, right? And Peter starts to get a little paranoid because he's tripping balls on acid, and we all are. And he realizes that he's walking with 3 people that don't like him. Because Joshua doesn't like him, Johnson doesn't like him, and neither do I. And him and Kim start talking, and he ends up convincing Kim to follow him back so they can go to the house. And we're like, oh, fuck, well, if this is our chance, we got to take it. And now as he's walking with his cane, like, he had a cane, by the way. It was like a big joke of his. He was like acting like he was some wise man. Joshua ends up running up to him and starts pretending to take his cane as a joke, you know. He actually starts trying to take it, though. And while doing that, Peter has his back turned to me. I run up behind him, and Peter has his back turned to me, and Joshua almost has his cane, and Joshua and Peter, like, fighting near a ditch. They're not really fighting, though. It's like play fighting near the road. And I look at the back of his head, and I get pissed, and I just swing as hard as I've ever swung in my life, and I hit him in the face. I felt this man's soul and dignity leave his body onto my fist. And he started to like lean back and he was like, oh shit. And I started punching him. And Cody runs up and hits him in the stomach like 2 times. And Peter starts running back to Daniel's house, like running, like he was scared. And you remember what I told y'all? Peter and Daniel were cousins. So Daniel's dad was extremely fucking pissed. He thought that the neighbors had just jumped him. So he fucking ran inside, Peter did, and said, they jumped my ass. They jumped my ass. And Daniel's dad came out with a fucking shotgun, and we were like, oh shit. And Daniel ended up covering up our asses, said we didn't jump him. I mean, we really didn't though. I was like the only one who got like a lot of hits in. I actually got a boxer's fracture and a broke wrist from hitting him so hard. But after we did that, we all started chilling, and we were kind of paranoid. I was fucking paranoid because I thought I was gonna get in trouble, right? And I was like, okay, you know what? I have to go home, because if I don't go home, I'm gonna have a even worse trip than I'm already having, because I'm with my ex, I'm with a bunch of people, and I'm pretty sure my ex is finna get fucked by somebody. So I gotta go. I call my grandma. I tell her I don't really feel safe. It's like 3 in the morning. She's like, oh my god, Royal Stoners, fine, I'll come and get you. Fuck, if you really need me to come get you. And I was like, yes, please. And she ends up coming to get me, and she gets there about like 30 minutes later. I was chatting up with everybody. We were talking, and she gets there, we get in the car, and we go home. Now, when we get home, I tripped balls talking to my mom in her room about acid and shit for like an hour or 2. And then I went back into my room and stayed up till about like 10 in the morning talking to Cody and Nathan. And yeah, that's the story about the acid party. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Click that bell button so you're always notified when I upload. Well, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.